I remember the first interaction between you and I wanted to hate you. I think speedrunning has actually helped me in other areas of my life as well.
Cool. All right. Well, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for coming on.
And thanks for having me.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Normally I do little jokey introductions for people, but I didn't come up with one for you. So do you want to introduce yourself to the listeners? I think everyone will probably know you. You've been around and everyone
Yeah.
knows you, but go for it.
I've My name is Twin. I've been around for since 2019. Um, I try to speedrun Link to the Past. I just taking it nice, slow and steady, and we're almost to our sub 90. So I
Yeah.
enjoy playing casual games on stream as well.
Yeah, you seem to, over the last year or two, definitely seemed like you've been having more fun with the casual games, moving more in that direction.
Yeah, I'm getting frustrated with not hitting my goals. So when I find myself getting too frustrated, I'll take a step back and play something casual for a while, which probably isn't great for my long-term goals, but hey, I got to keep my mental health where it needs to be.
For sure. And there's definitely a balance that you have to figure out between like making progress. Like you don't want to necessarily give up entirely, but also you don't
Yes,
want to push yourself so much that it, takes over your life and ruins your mood and everything.
exactly.
Yeah, so you've been playing a ton of casual gaming lately, but you haven't been sharing any of it with the audience. What year is
Yeah,
it now in your
Stardew
farm?
Stardew has kind of pulled me in. It is now year 7 in
Wow.
Stardew. Uh but I'm only like 56%, 60% maybe on the perfection score.
Are
So,
you going for perfection?
I mean, it'd be cool, but I don't know if it'll actually happen.
Yeah, that seems like way too much work. I played that game a lot back when there's a new patch out that added a ton of
Hmm.
content. I played before that. I don't think I ever got everything, but I like went and did a bunch of the achievements, like getting all the legendary fish and stuff. And even that was like a little too much for me, really. Year
Yeah,
seven,
the
I don't think I've
content.
ever made it past year four. I get tired of it.
You know what? Joss said the same thing the other night uh on Sleeby's stream. He's like, I wow. But yeah, so I'm having a lot of fun. It's my kind of just kind of zone out and you've got your routine for the day and it's great. It's
Yeah,
a lot of fun for me.
that's cool. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Did you finish the last casual game you were playing on stream? I think you were playing
Not yet.
Mario.
Yeah, Paper Mario. I'm on chapter 7. I'm almost done. I'm this close.
Year
Uh
seven, chapter seven.
chapter, the sevens. But the last like month, I just haven't had a lot of motivation for streaming. Summer's kind of hard with the kids staying up later and
Yeah,
just
being in your hair a
yeah.
little more.
Oh yeah, 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 for sure.
um,
Definitely, for sure.
yeah, that's cool though. But you are still planning on going for the sub 90, right? That's still on
Correct.
the
Yes, I
cards.
definitely want to hit that goal. I'm really close.
Yeah,
I've
I mean, you've been good enough to spike it. You just have to throw some runs at it. But if that's not fun for you, take it at your own pace.
yeah, yeah. I'll get back to it once I'm done with this casual game. Planning on doing some actual practice streams and
Sweet.
then um doing throwing some runs at the wall and seeing if one of them will stick.
Yeah. Also, I didn't mention this, but for anybody, most people I think are just listening to podcasts. But Twin is wearing a Pepsi Cola T-shirt today, which is excellent.
Yes. Yes. I do love my Pepsi. I have a bottle of it sitting off to the side in
Nice.
case I need a drink. So,
Yeah. Okay, so backstepping a little bit, kind of jumped ahead of things. But what? How did you get into speedrunning? What brought you to it?
so um back in like 2018, I used to make fun of my nephew for watching Twitch, watching
Hmm.
other people play video games. Like, what fun is that? Don't you want to like play the games yourself? Um didn't make any sense in my brain. Uh, and I'm not normally a speed through a game kind of person. I love like in Final Fantasy 7, the original one, I bred a gold chocobo every single
Right.
time. Got
Right.
every color up to the S rank, the whole boring schmeal there. Um, but in 2019, my brother showed me a YouTube video of Ajneb174's Final Fantasy 7 speedrun for GDQ.
Legendary.
And yeah, it was a fantastic speedrun. It took me a couple days to get through it, but absolutely loved it. And I signed up for Twitch shortly after that. And then through Ajneb, I found other Link to the Past streamers. And since I loved that game, um, played it when it first came out, I was not a child, but I was still in my youth. And it just interested me so much. All the fun little strats and tricks that speedrunners have figured out how to do. Um, it has been a really fun last few years.
Yeah. You have always seemed very interested in that kind of techie stuff. Like you like learning glitches, not necessarily doing a ton of heavy speedruns or whatever, but you've always seemed to really enjoy like just learning some stuff, seeing how things go.
Yeah, I love learning.
Yeah.
Um, and it's fun to move the character in a way that you're not normally doing so.
Yeah.
Now that's not saying it's not frustrating. Oh my gosh, I almost gave up many times when I was trying to learn how to select buffer for the Herita Swamp clip. But once I finally got it, that sense of accomplishment that I actually did it, um, it's a hell of a drug, you know? So I think that's what I love about learning individual clips
Yeah.
and tricks like that is you get that faster sense of those endorphins or adrenaline or whatever the crazy wacky
Sure.
things that go on in your brain.
Yeah, that sense of like,
Um,
oh, I get it. Like I can do something new
yeah,
now. That's a cool feeling.
yeah.
That's so funny because you've mentioned this a few times how frustrating that was for you. But I was watching you and trying to help from chat, which is always a little
Mhm.
frustrating being on a several second delay from someone who's trying to help you with something. But I thought that you picked that up like really fast. Like I was impressed by how fast you figured out not only the clip, but like how select buffering works, which is not a natural thing for people. And it was like it was odd. It was odd to me to see how frustrated you got when I felt like you were doing better than expected. Like it seemed very smooth to me, but
Oh,
you know,
well,
people
thank
have
you.
different thresholds.
Yeah, like I said, I think it was just the fact that I was trying it over and over and over and not getting it,
Yeah.
and it kept, Link kept popping out of the wall, or I kept going too far, and it was just frustrating in that moment. Um, but it wasn't like I don't know. It's hard to describe, but it's nice to hear that somebody thought I picked it up fast.
Yeah, I thought it went really well. So, okay, so you still want to do the sub 90 in NMG.
Uh
Do you
huh.
have any other goals? I know you've said before that you have thought about learning some Super Metroid runs. That's still
Correct.
on the docket?
Still on the docket. I also want to go back to All Dungeons
Oh, you
RMG.
do? Okay.
I do. My time there is not great. I think I have like 2 or 3 deaths in that run.
Yeah,
Um, but I definitely wanna go back to that and try to get my time down a little bit. Nothing hardcore. I don't know if I'll learn Lonk or,
right.
anything like that,
That
but,
makes the run a lot
uh
more frustrating. Definitely
yeah.
reasonable
So
not to
I
want to
think I'll
bother.
just stick with the nice, easy route that I'm doing, but just do it better. Um, but yeah, I would love to learn maybe just get sub hour in KPDR and Super Metroid. Um, thanks to Clipper, I want to learn Mega Man X 100%. That looks like a really fun game. Another frustrating game to play
Yes, I
casually,
was gonna
but
say.
it looks like it's when done nicely, it's such a smooth game to watch. Just like Super Metroid is. Most speedruns, you'll look at speedrunners and they play their game so well. Um, it just makes it look so smooth and pretty and
Yeah, it tricks
nice.
you into wanting to try it, and then you do it, and you're
Yes.
like, ah, I suck at this. This isn't fun
Yeah,
yet.
exactly. So, I know that it's a lot of work ahead of me, but I'm gonna try to, just do what I do. Plod along nice and slow. Everybody'll pass me by, and that'll be just fine. I can't count the number of new runners that have come up. They say they admire me, they follow my runs, and then all of a sudden they're like 2 or 3 minutes ahead of me. And
Yeah,
it that can get frustrating, but it's still a lot of fun.
yeah. No, I get that for sure. Um, when Yoho was briefly faster than me, I was enraged every second of my life until I cut him back. So
I miss Yoho.
He's been around
Anyway,
more lately.
yeah, I've noticed that.
It's nice to have him back. I'll cut that. Don't worry. He won't hear us say
Oh, okay, good. We don't
that.
want him here to say nice things about him.
Yeah. I don't know if he's gonna listen actually. Well, yeah, I was a little bit curious because you have seemed, like I mentioned, you've really been trending in the direction of less speedrunning and more casual gaming. I was wondering if you were thinking of like hitting the Link to the Past goals and then just maybe being a variety streamer or taking a step back or whatever. So it's interesting, cool to see that you want to try out other games still.
Yeah, for sure. I now that I've found going fast in games, it's kind of addicting.
Yeah,
Like, I yeah, I just wanna go fast in other games too, so
it really changes the way you look at every game. I think forever. It's like a
it really
different
does.
way of approaching video games that's very hard to like unsee.
Mhm. Yeah, like, even playing casual games, I still want to I mean, I still wanna do the collectathons and all of that stuff, but I also want to try to go faster. So, it's an interesting thing that's happening in my brain now, so
Yeah. Do you think so? You've definitely had times, and it seems like your approach to speedrunning has changed as a reaction to this because you've definitely had times where you were not having fun with it, where it was you were pushing yourself too hard or whatever. Do you think you've like figured out how to handle it in the way that's right for you? Like, do you think that your current engagement with the hobby is the level? Like, do you feel good about it? Do you feel like you're hitting the right
yes.
balance of progress versus frustration?
I think I could push myself a little harder, but something finally sunk in. Um, Doomtap likes to say that failure is the norm,
Hmm.
and I was expecting every run to be really good, and it's just not gonna happen that way, and
Right.
I think I finally realized that, and so when it does get to the point where because I'm not doing my best every run and it starts to get in my head, I've learned that I need to step back for a little bit. Whether that's not playing the game at all, um, just, doing casual stuff for a while or, maybe switching to rando for a little bit. I know that I need to step back a little bit. So that has definitely helped out the last year or so.
That's something that's echoes, I think, what some of the stuff Tam was saying about like approaching the game with a better attitude towards just like finishing runs and like not having all these expectations on every run. Like just because you got to the dark world doesn't mean you're going to PB. Like you should just like an approach where you're doing more, just playing the game, letting yourself
Mhm.
fail, and then taking a step back if it hurts. Um, Instead of trying to like sort of
Yeah.
like clench and like really force yourself to be perfect every time, which you just can't really do.
Yeah, you can. And it's easy to think that you should be able to,
Yeah.
but it's hard to realize that you can't.
I think that the way you said it, I guess I haven't heard Doom say this, but failure is the norm. I think that's one of those things that's like very easy to sort of say and know and very difficult to really internalize and feel.
Mhm.
And I think that I think that speedrunning has helped me feel that internally in a way that I didn't really before in some ways. Like the process of for me it was the 125 barrier, for you it's the 129 barrier. The process of just like choking and failing over and over again and being like I know I can do this and then
Yeah,
just like working through that I think is I don't know. I think it's one of the benefits of speedrunning is that it forces you to confront that.
for sure. And I think it's helped in other parts of my life.
Yeah.
Like I try not to have such a tight control on everything that's going on in my life anymore. Um Now some of that might be the Prozac. I don't know, but uh
I
I
attribute
think it's
that partially to speedrunning and partially to not being in my 20s anymore.
yeah. Well, I haven't been in my 20s for years now, um but yeah, like I've become a much more calm, relaxed person um in general. I feel like I don't rage quite as much. Um, Not that I ever really raged at the game, but you could tell when I was
Yeah,
upset.
for sure.
Um, so yeah.
That's cool. That's really good to hear. It does feel, I like speedrunning and video games and Twitch and all this stuff, but sometimes it's hard to sit back and be like, am I wasting my time?
Oh, I
Should
know
I
for
be doing
sure I
something more
am.
productive? It's nice to have a little something you can show for your time.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good way to look at it too. I know I waste plenty of time on here, but on Twitch, but I think it's helped me as well.
You got your husband to play Link to the Past.
I did. I almost killed him.
He beat it, right? He finished.
He did. He did beat it.
Did that spark
Um,
any further interest in games for him?
he actually owes my community a playthrough of either Super Metroid or Mega Man X. I think Mega Man X will be a better choice for him, because it's shorter and it's easier to follow where you've been, where he's only home for a week at a time.
Yeah.
Um, he actually suggested Super Metroid,
Wow.
and I'm like, when I was trying to come up with ideas for my fundraiser that I do every November, um, he actually suggested that we do that again.
That's cool. So I guess he had fun doing it. He seemed like he was having fun. I didn't watch a ton of it, but it seemed like he was enjoying the experience.
Yeah, he had a lot of fun. He said some of it was frustrating, but I think that's any casual playthrough, really. Um,
Video games are
but
supposed to be a little frustrating. A
yeah,
big thing that they're a big part of the experience is feeling frustrated and then overcoming that and feeling the relief. That's like
exactly.
that's what you're doing. Like that's the point. I mean,
Yep.
there are other things too. There's stories, there's exploration, whatever. But like that's one of the things that video games can do that other media can't.
Mm-hmm.
Is why some of us find it so compelling.
Oh yeah. That 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 feeling of, oh hey, I figured this out on my
Yeah,
own is it's a good feeling.
it's a good feeling. That's cool. One other thing I wanted to ask you about, you participated in the most recent season of NMG League. You've been kind of hot and cold on the general concept of racing.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. How do you feel about it today? What are you thinking?
So
You gonna join the
I
next season
think
in a couple weeks?
I might join this season.
Okay, cool.
Um, I think racing NMG is a little easier on me because you can watch and see exactly what's going on with your opponent. Whereas Rando, you're just in your own little bubble. You're in your head. You're like, "Oh, my opponent found this item so much faster than me.
Yeah.
They're probably on the Ganon fight already, even though it's only been half an hour." Um, I don't think rando racing is for me, but I did have fun with the NMG League, so I will probably join again. Um,
Sweet.
Maybe this time I'll won't be in a bracket with people that I don't know how to say this and not say sound mean, that have like 10-minute times worse than mine,
Right.
and still almost beat me. But
You
I go
did
out
win
and
last season, right? Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
did. I am the queen of Hyrule Castle. Thank you very much.
Does that make you Zelda? No, I guess she's the princess. Does Zelda have a mom? Is there a queen?
I think she's like a Disney princess where her parents are just poof gone.
Well, there's a
Who knows
king
where they
in
are?
Link to the Past. There's a king.
Yeah, there is a, well, sort of. There's a
Well,
Stalfos who
sort of.
sits on his throne.
There's a king in the credit cutscene.
Yes. I don't know about the mom. It never addresses that
I never thought
ever.
about it before. You also went 2-1 in the previous season.
Did I?
Yeah, you're yeah.
Oh.
You lost to
Well, I guess I'm
Meowski and
doing
then
better
beat
than I
Nio and Sawyer.
guess I'm doing better than I thought I was.
That's always good.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you have any particularly notable um, moments in your career? I mostly mean speedrunning career, but any Twitch stuff is fine to talk about. Like some people um, have had a run in a marathon or something like that. I don't know, got anything like that?
No. No, I'm just in like everybody's chat all the time
Yes.
talking.
Yeah.
I've found that I enjoy commentary. Um, I people say that I do a good job, but I'm not sure. You know, that little voice in your head is always saying, "You suck, don't do this anymore." But um, I think that's one of my biggest contributions is just the commentary and hyping everybody up to run the NMG or try out glitches and you know, spread your wings, try commentary, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you are very encouraging.
Yeah,
You have a very friendly, positive kind of vibe on your stream.
I try.
And you
Not
also
everybody can be like you, Fox. Mm.
you also have a very broad like interaction across. I'm phrasing this so badly. You interact with a lot of different people. Like I mostly hang out in Link to the Past streams or my
Mm-hmm.
friends' streams when they're streaming variety. But you watch a lot of SM runners.
Correct.
You also, well, I know you watch Clipper. Do you watch other like X players? You watch Tokyo sometimes, right?
Yeah, I watch Tokyo sometimes. Um, but yeah, it's mostly the Super Metroid community, Clipper, Tokyo, a couple of people from Clippers chat, um,
Ben.
Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, but other than that, it's kind of Zelda and Super Metroid mostly.
A lot of crossover there too, to be fair.
Yeah, there is a lot of crossover with those two games.
I totally forgot to actually ask you this earlier, but I should have, so I'll go ahead and ask now. When we were talking about how you got into speedrunning, you talked about how you like found out about it. But what caused you to start? Making the jump
Um,
from watcher to player is a pretty big jump that a lot of people never make.
it is. I enjoyed the chat interactions um with uh that I had with streamers. Um, in their chats typing away blah blah blah. And I wanted to try streaming. And I'm like, "Well, what can I do? I only have a little laptop. Um, and like I don't have a lot of space. I don't have a lot of time or whatever." Um, and I think it was actually Yoho who I first started watching him play some rando and then he started his NMG grind. And watching him work through the game as much as he did, um, kind of it was like a little spark, like, I can do this too.
Right.
I love this game. I know this game. It wouldn't be hard for me to learn where I need to go to even, just finish a run. So, I the community helped me figure out what I needed and that's I think I played Chrono Trigger first
Oh,
just to
cool.
get my feet wet um in the streaming situation, and then I started learning the speed run and the rest is history.
That's cool. And that was 2019.
That was 2019.
Nice. I didn't know you started out with Chrono Trigger.
Well, I just played it casually.
Right, right.
But yeah, I did my first hammer jump on stream.
Nice.
Um, a couple of people in chat were helping me out with that.
I
I remember
cannot
the first
imagine
time
trying to learn that from chat. Like chat
it
trying to describe some pixel perfect cue on like a 5 second delay, I would lose my mind.
so with the practice hack, we have an amazing practice hack.
True.
I know
Right.
you do know that. But with the coordinates on there, it actually wasn't bad
That's fair. That makes
because
sense.
we turned off the sprites so that the bridge wouldn't fall. And then somebody told me the coordinates to go to, and then I found my visual cues from there. Um, and we kind of just went like that.
I think the first time I ever did a hammer jump was I got a rando seed. This was like right when the rando was very, very new. And I got a
Hmm.
rando seed that was wrong. Like it was generated badly. There was a
Oh,
logic bug. And I got a pod where I needed a key. I was key locked. There was a key that one more key needed to be accessible than the number that I actually had. And I I launched it in an emulator and hammer jumped to unlock the seed and finish it.
Well, there we go. Nicely done.
Yeah.
I have to say, I remember the first time that the first interaction between you and I that I remember.
Mm,
I think you came in on a raid with Bitey, I think it was.
that would make sense.
Um, and I was going through escape and you said, you really should be pumping in water. And I don't know why, but that irked me so bad. I wanted to hate you, and then you just kept coming around, and then you, like, grew on me, and you're, like you're fantastic, so
Well, thank you. Sorry for the poor first impression. That was probably more for Bidey's benefit than yours, but I'm sorry it had that negative impact on you.
but yeah, so
Well, I'm glad it worked out. Glad that we're friends now. Glad that you're going to be coming to SGL this winter, this fall, whenever
yes,
it is.
I'm looking forward to that,
That's going to be awesome. You're also
for sure.
going to GDQ. That's like any minute now, right?
It's a week and a half or something. It's the last couple of days of June and then the first week of
Yeah,
July.
so like next weekend, right?
Mhm.
That's cool. You're doing are you
Yeah.
doing are did you decide to join checks for comms?
I didn't,
Okay.
I don't know, I'd feel kind of weird, I don't know Gland that well,
Yeah,
um,
fair.
but, I mean, if they want me to hop on and I can ask checks questions about what's going on, like I did with the No Logic tournament last year, but, I mean, I'm not gonna like, "Hey, Gland, can I come join your crew?"
Maybe you'll make friends with Glenn on the first couple days and then join the couch.
Maybe,
I
maybe.
know that a lot of people feel this way. I don't know if you feel this way, but a lot of people don't like calming runs that they don't know or like no logic when they're not familiar with the glitches or whatever. I think that it's really good as a viewer actually to have you stand in for the audience and ask
Mhm.
the dumb questions. I mean, they're not really dumb, but you know, the questions that Chex wouldn't think to ask because he's known this run. He knows all the stuff. And
Yeah.
I think it's actually makes for a good commentary when there's a less informed person who's helping surface the kind of information that the audience might not even know that they're missing out on, might not even think to ask, but you're like at the level where you can bring up really informative questions. I'm not trying to like get you to do that particular thing, but I
Yeah.
do think that that's a good dynamic on commentary. So
I think that's maybe why people liked my comms on the last No Logic tournament, because I was that person asking the questions.
yeah,
I had no clue about the No Logic, a lot of the No Logic glitches and stuff. I had picked up a little bit from watching people, um, just play seeds on their own and that kind of stuff, but having Malmo there or, somebody else who was really knowledgeable, like Chex, I think I did a couple of comms with Chex, that I could ask those questions to. It helped me learn, and apparently it helped the audience as well.
yeah. Buddha's been doing that this time around. He's been
Mhm.
hopping on comms with Malmo or Doom or whatever. I think that's a great dynamic.
I think
'Cause
so too.
he'll ask questions and then that gives Malmo like a good excuse to explain a bunch of what's going on. And I think it's a good viewer experience. Not a good judge anymore because I know no logic now, but
Yeah.
so you know maybe the actual SG chat doesn't care, but it seems good to me.
Yeah, I do enjoy that, um, dynamic as well.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that's most of the stuff I had prepared. Is there anything else you want to talk about? We do have a tier list. We'll get to in a moment. I'm sure everyone's
Okay.
excited. Um, but do you have anything else you want to talk about before we move into that?
Um, I can't think of anything other than the fact of just thanking everybody who's, been a part of my Twitch experience. Uh, Definitely wouldn't have kept going with it without the community. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, the real speedrun is the friends we've made along the way. All right, today's tier list. Hold on, let me. Okay, there we
there
go.
we go. Oh, you've got my emotes. I was wondering what you were gonna do.
We're doing your emotes. These are only the ones you have up right now. This isn't all your seasonal ones. But yeah. So you good to go? Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, we've got leave up first. Leave and arrive are
Leave?
kind of the same. So, but do you
Yeah.
have which one? Where do you put
Um,
leave?
they're okay. They're not my favorites, but they're okay. I put them like in the middle, probably B tier.
Both of them? Okay.
Yeah.
This is, I think, blush.
Blush. I love blush. Unfortunately, it's a bit emo and a lot of people don't have it, but or a tier 3 or something. I want to put that in A.
Fair enough. It's very cute. This is bongo. The animated ones aren't animated, unfortunately, but this is
Yeah,
bongo.
unfortunately. Bongo, I also want to put in A.
Classy. I love this one.
See, that one didn't turn out the way I
Oh,
really,
what were
really
you
wanted
envisioning?
it. It's cute, but it's not what I wanted, really. Let's put that in C.
Can you tell us what your vision for it was?
Um, it's I had found this picture of an actual hedgehog wearing a little top hat and little glasses, and it just didn't translate the way I wanted it to.
If you can dig
It's
that
still
picture
cute.
up for us, I would love to see it.
Oh, I don't think I could,
Okay,
but I
fair
could
enough.
try.
All right, we've got cozy,
Oh, comfy.
comfy.
Um, let's put that in I use it quite a bit. Let's put that in A tier.
Yeah,
Dance is S.
it's his S. Okay.
Oh yeah, dance is S. Um, excuse me. Flushed, it doesn't get used very much. That's a Yoho special. We'll put it with the other. Yep,
Animated
B
ones.
tier.
Flushed always comes up when I'm looking for the default flushed emoji, which I use kind of a lot. I think it's really funny. So I see this all the time. This is facepalm, I believe.
Yep, facepalm. I love facepalm. I use it a lot. Let's put that in S tier.
S tier. All right. This is hedgehog. I think it's called excited.
Excited. It also shakes. Woo woo.
Yeah.
Excited. I use quite a bit. Let's put that in A tier.
Excited might be my favorite. It's definitely up there. All right. Evil. This is the evil
Evil.
Kermit meme, but with a hedgie.
Yep, I love evil. Let's put it in A tier as well.
Grumpy, also a great one. Classic.
Grumpy. Grumpy's a classic. I don't think it's we're gonna go A tier on that one as well.
Not S tier. Okay, okay.
No.
This is eyes. I don't really understand this one. Is it a reference to the Zora thing that you love so
Yeah,
much?
kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's put that in B tier.
Okay. That's a reskin of this, right? Whatever this
Uh-huh.
is. Giggle.
Yeah, it's Giggle. So do you want to do Giggle or do you want to do
Yeah,
Heck?
yeah. Where does Giggle go?
Giggle goes in S.
Okay. Yeah, I think
I love
that makes
Giggle.
sense. That's a very good one. Okay, this is Heck.
Mm-hmm. Modeled after Not Like This.
Yeah.
I also really love this one. Uh, we'll go A tier on this one. This is hard. I love all my emotes.
Yeah. I felt a little bad doing this, but I couldn't think of a better one. A better
Yeah, I was
set for you.
wondering. Fine. Fine is a great moment in my speedrun career.
Fine is very funny clip. I personally I don't think it translates super well as an emote, but I love the
Yeah.
clip of it.
Yeah,
But what
the
do you
clip is
think?
hilarious.
Yeah.
We'll put this one in C tier.
This is these are the same and still. One is jam and one is rave, I think.
Oh yeah. Uh, Jam and Rave, they can both go in B tier.
Oh, okay. And this is grilled. This is PB
Grilled.
but gold.
Yep, Gold. I think I originally had it named Gold, but it didn't really make a lot of sense, so I changed its name. Um,
It's a grilled PB&J.
it's a grilled cheese. I had her change it. Um, again, it was a Yoho meme
Hmm.
that started out that way, but we'll put that one in B tier and
Okay,
then
and the
PB
original
in
PB.
A.
Hey, okay.
Yep.
This is Nom.
Nom, originally a holiday emote. but I had slots open, so I kept it. Um, I communicate mostly with Clear Mouse with it. We'll put it in C tier.
Oh wow, I like it more than that. It's interesting. I know it's a holiday emote, but I wouldn't know that if I didn't know it. Like
Yeah.
seeing it isn't obvious. The sprinkles are red and green, but it's not. It's works perfectly fine as a year-round one. Okay, love.
Love was my very first emote.
Aw.
Um, she actually drew it. I don't know if she did it on stream or not, but she drew it and sent it to me, and I'm like, "Oh, this is really cute. Is it mine?" She's like, "Yeah, it's yours." I'm like, "Oh." Um, I'm gonna put that one in A tier.
A tier. Okay. I don't think I've ever noticed before the three little hearts on the
Mhm.
side. Okay, noted. Or
Noted
notes or
is a
whatever.
really I like noted. It does seem to be getting a quite a bit of use as well. A tier.
Do you track that? What emotes your subs use?
I just mentally like, "Oh, hey, I saw somebody use it
Hmm.
in Discord," or, it just makes me happy that people like my emotes enough to use them places, you know?
Yeah. Okay, sad.
Sad. Sad, unfortunately, it was one of my favorites until Sad Clown came along. So regular sad is now like B tier.
Okay, we can talk about sad clown.
Sad Clown was supposed to be just a Halloween emote, and then everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, please keep that." And it has since become one of my regular use emotes.
Yeah,
That's
it
an
gets a
S
ton
tier.
of use,
Mhm.
especially with Willie around.
Oh yeah, with Willie around, that thing is like it's fire. S tier on that one.
All right. This I don't remember which one this is. Maybe oh no.
It's oh no. It was supposed to be a pog.
So yeah, I remember this story at least vaguely. You asked for a Pog emote from your emote artist Angel,
Mhm.
and then was this her Pog?
Yes.
This is unedited. Yeah, this isn't a pogging face.
No. That's a D tier.
D tier. Oof. This one, excited. That is the Pog
Hannah.
emote. That was Hannah, right? Yeah.
Hannah did that one.
Okay, this
This
emote,
one
I've never seen this before today. I scraped the your emotes to get all of them, and then what is what?
So, this is just one that I threw in there. Occasionally Angel does these little manias where, um, it's kind of like a sub goal type
Mm-hmm.
day. Anyway, she'll have a theme for the day, and then, you can submit a form and have whatever you choose to be drawn that day. And this one was tunic themed, which is why my hedgie is in a tunic and it's holding a SNES controller.
Yeah, for
Um,
anyone who's not watching with video, it's the Hedgie in a purple tunic holding a SNES controller.
yeah. Um, I just threw it on there because I thought it was cute. I tried having it as my profile picture for a while, and everybody's like, "It looks like it's pointing a gun at me," and I'm like, "That is not a gun. That is a SNES controller." And so I changed it. um,
Twin
but it's
mode
just kind of a
23 hold up.
placeholder. It's a C tier. It's
Okay.
cute, but it's not like it gets used anywhere.
Um, would you say it was tunic themed, the game Tunic, or just the concept of tunics?
I think it's just the concept of tunics. I'm not entirely positive on that one though.
Interesting. All right, next up is Shrugged or Shrug.
I love Shrug. It's such a sassy little email, like,
Yeah.
whatever. That's an S tier.
All right. Sip.
Sip is also S tier.
I think Sip. Sip might be
I
one of my. Sip is definitely one
lo-
of my favorites. Might be my favorite.
I love Sip.
The only problem with it is that it's a can of Pepsi instead of a can of Diet Coke. But this is
You
your
have
episode.
concision for that now.
What'd you say?
You have concision for your Diet Coke needs now.
Oh, I didn't know
He
that he
has
has.
he has a link emote drinking a can of Coke.
Nice. Party.
Party, I use that is my number one used emote on my mobile app. It
Mm.
is. When I click my mobile app emoji thingies, it's the first one that pops up. Uh, it was also one of my first ones, and I really love it. It is an S tier for me.
I used to use this one a lot. I don't use this much anymore. I also like the winter variation, the snow.
The snow. It looks great on dark theme. I don't
Mm.
even wanna think about what it looks like on light theme.
Just don't use light theme.
Just don't use light theme, exactly.
This one is Stab or Stabby.
Stab.
Yeah,
Stabby, it's an animated one right now, because I ran out of slots for just the stab emote. I love the Halloween theme version better. It has the
the Jason
Jason
mask.
hockey
Yeah,
mask on. Um, but the smile on this one is like perfect. Like it's just like this psychotic little happy hedgie holding a knife. It's fantastic.
it's very
This
deranged.
is
Yeah.
A tier for
Okay,
sure.
reasonable. This one is Wave or High or something.
hmm Wave.
Okay.
And it's also A tier.
All right, there we go. That's all the ones that you had on your
Mhm.
Twitch. We got a little bit of a bell curve. You were grading your own emotes on a curve, which is very reasonable since they're yours. Um, there we go. Thank you for
There we go.
participating in the tier list event.
Thank you for figuring out something to do for a tier list for me.
And that's all I got. Do you have any plans for when you're going to get back to streaming? Do you have a goal or a date or anything in mind?
Um, every day I'm like, I'm gonna stream tonight. I'm gonna stream tonight. I'm gonna stream tonight. And then it gets down to the time, and I'm like in the middle of a day in Stardew, and I'm like, oh, I'll just finish this day and then I'll start up. And then like 3 days later in Stardew, I'm like, oh, it's midnight. I should probably go to bed.
Yeah.
So, I do want to get back to it. I really do. But I don't have a time frame
We
right
just
now.
need to
It's
pay
just
off one of your kids to hide the Switch for an evening.
it's on my computer.
Oh, it's on Steam. Oh,
It's on Steam.
well,
So
it's over.
it's over. Sorry. Stardew has taken over.
Anything else you want to tell people? Obviously, we'll have your Twitch stream in the description, and everyone should follow you at Twinmo23. Anywhere else you want people to follow you? Anything else you want to say to the people before we break?
Just thank you. Thank you for welcoming me into the community as wonderfully as you all have. Thank you for everyone out there who has helped me along my journey to speedrunning. I know that it's not easy to help others because I know I do this and it drives me crazy. Um, Somebody will give me advice and like, oh, I know how to do that. Yeah, I really need to learn how to do that. And then I never do, and it drives me crazy. But um, so I want to say thank you to those of you who have stuck around and still offer to help me. Um, I really appreciate everything. And I can't wait to meet everybody at
Hell yeah.
SG Live.
Looking forward to it. Thanks so much, Twin.
Yep, thank you, Fox.